Hi, I'm Colin Shantz with Copper Tree Solutions, and today we're going to talk about how to know when your business needs IT support. Sometimes people ask me how large their organization needs to be before they need IT support. And it has less to do with the size of the business or how many people work there, and more to do with how technology dependent your organization is. We have clients that are as small as 10 people that are using our services. And typically they're organizations that understand that if their systems don't work or they have a problem with their infrastructure, it impacts their ability to do their job and to serve their clients. Um, you know, any organization between 10 and 200 computer users is a potential fit for our services. But it's really tends to be the thing that tends to unify all of our clients is that they're dependent on their technology, and when they show up in the morning, they need it to just work. They need to be able to use it and rely on it all day long. One of the ways IT can bring efficiency to small business is by helping them, ultimately getting them to the spot where everything just works. So if their systems are working all day, every day, and they're not spending time calling support or Googling things or trying to fix things on their own, it's a time saver for them. And if we have the right technology in place, we can help make their processes more efficient and ultimately drive better results as an organization. IT is an integral part of any organization today, and it should be part of the overall organizational strategy and plan. IT is a tool that you can use to be more competitive. If you can figure out how to leverage technology and to possibly do some automation or streamline your workflows, it can be a competitive advantage in the marketplace that you're in. I regularly talk to some organizations that are clearly not leveraging technology to the best possible, as much as they could. And I feel like they're missing out on a huge opportunity. We've seen numerous organizations find ways to leverage technology and been able to be much more efficient and to transform themselves into a leader in their industry. No matter where your starting point, there's always an opportunity to improve the state of IT in your organization. Sometimes when we come into a new client or a prospect, they'll ask us, what's the process to change? How painful will it be to get started with an IT vendor? Maybe they haven't had anything in place; they've just been doing it on their own, or maybe they've got somebody internally that's kind of the person that knows that's taking care of things for them. There's always a fear of what happens when we change. What's the process? Is it going to impact our business? Is it going to take a lot of time? Is it going to be disruptive? It's not usually as bad as people think it will be. Our approach when we come in is we do an assessment. We find out where are we today? What's the baseline? What's the state of technology today? And where do we need to go? What are the things that need to be put in place or changes that need to be made? And then we put together a plan to execute on that. So it doesn't really matter where you start. We'll come in, we'll assess, we'll find out where you are, we'll put together a plan, and we'll get to where you're trying to go. Some organizations end up in a situation where they haven't invested in technology, and ultimately they're faced with making some major changes. Sometimes when we come in, people are worried about what does that mean? Does that mean we're gonna spend a ton of money and change everything? And sometimes it does. It really, our focus is on figuring out where we are today and figuring out where we need to be as an organization, and then putting together a plan that works for you to get there. Sometimes that means doing a big system upgrade, and sometimes that means doing some phase changes over time. But really, we work with our clients. We're not just coming in and changing everything for the sake of change. We work with our clients to identify the business need, identify the risks that are in the infrastructure, and figure out what needs to happen. If there hasn't been investment in the technology for some time, we often see a fairly high technical debt. And what that means is you can ignore technology for a while. But eventually it's going to catch up to you, and you're going to have to make the investment and do what it takes to keep things working properly. One of the big things in choosing an IT vendor is trust. You need to be able to trust the company that you choose. When you're bringing somebody in to provide IT support in your organization, you need to know that you can trust them, they will take care of you, and that you're going to end up working together for a while. People ask sometimes, we're bringing you in, we're giving you access to all of our information. How do we know that we can trust you? And that's really the basis of what our business is built on, is trust. If we don't have trust, we can't work together. We need you to trust our recommendations, and you need to trust that we're taking care of things behind the scenes. So the things that we're doing in our organization is largely built around our own processes and our people. We do police checks on our staff members, and every person that gets brought onto our team is somebody that we've vetted very carefully. And we're making sure that we trust them, and we feel like we can safely bring them in and give them access to our clients' information. The other side of that is we have things in place on our side to verify any access. If everything is logged, so if somebody accesses a system, we know who it was, who did what, when they did it, and we can see what happened. One of the things people frequently worry about when they think about bringing on a new IT support vendor is the transition process. What happens with the person that I've been working with for the last 20 years. And we haven't been totally thrilled with the results, or we haven't been totally satisfied with the outcome. But we worry about making a change. Is there going to be a big period of disruption, or is it something that can be done fairly smoothly? And it's usually not as big of a deal as people think it is. The first thing we do when we come in is we go through the system and document everything from top to bottom. We look at every piece of hardware, every piece of software, every service, every vendor you work with. We document everything, and we gather the information we need to work. We also deploy all of our tools, and we lock down the system. So we go through and change the passwords and make sure that everything is secure. And at the end of that, we know exactly what we're dealing with. We've got all your systems documented. Our support team has the tools they need to be able to provide support. And we have the information we need to develop a roadmap and say, okay, here's where we are today. This is what needs to happen going forward. So it's usually not as big of a deal as people fear it might be. I'm Colin Shantz with Copper Tree Solutions. Today we discussed how to know when your business needs IT support. Visit our website at coppertreesolutions.ca to get started with an IT solution for your business.